Late afternoon in July 2018, a horrific crime was taking place in Sydney's leafy northwest.
There's been a deadly shooting a short time ago in Sydney's northwest. The ambulance service has confirmed 2 people are dead.
And your house is surrounded. You can walk to the front door with your head in the air.
The young brother and his sister in Sydney shot dead by their own father, who then took his own life.
68-year-old John Edwards murdered his own teenage children, Jack and Jennifer, who were living with his ex-wife, Olga.
I just couldn't believe it. I cried straight away. I just couldn't believe it.
After hearing the terrible news, Lana Kasyan texted her friend Olga Edwards.
And she texted me, "John killed our children. My mind is dead."
Olga was only 19 when she met John Edwards on an internet dating site. Despite their 30-year age difference, she followed him all the way from Russia to Australia.
It was just quite shocking to me and to Andrei, because John was around 50 plus, I guess, at that time, and Olga was just from the different planet. She was just perfect. Absolutely beautiful, intelligent, young, like full of life.
Really thoughtful and kind is the way I'd describe her. Very patient, with a little bit of a sense of humour.
They married in 2001 and within 3 years had 2 children. While they presented a happy domestic image to the world, their marriage was troubled.
He was controlling her salary, her expenses, her expenditure, whatever she was doing with money. Olga mentioned that John was very abusive. He could slap Jenny to the face and could lift the Jack through the naked up like that, up to the wall. And she said it was really too much. It was really dangerous.
In 2016, Olga applied for a divorce. She filed complaints with police alleging her husband had been violent towards her and the children. Despite those complaints, her estranged husband was later granted a firearms license and bought the guns he would use to murder his own children.
When we have this kind of tragedy and fatality, and all the facts are laid bare, we see that this should never have happened.
For 7 months, a coronial inquiry has investigated just how this tragedy was allowed to occur. Today, an emotional coroner, Teresa O'Sullivan, found a series of crucial, systemic and serious failures on the part of New South Wales Police, the Firearms Registry and the independent children's lawyer in the family law proceedings. The coroner concluded by saying that the evidence before her reveals that Jack and Jennifer Edwards' deaths were preventable. The inquest revealed that all 6 former partners of John Edwards reported physical or psychological abuse. 3 of them, and later one of his children, took out apprehended domestic violence orders against him. Despite John Edwards' 18-year history of domestic violence, the inquest heard that the independent lawyer appointed by Legal Aid to handle Olga's custody battle didn't disclose this to the family court. Instead, Debbie Morton described it as heavy-handed parenting.
There seems to be overwhelmingly a push for children, no matter whether their parent is abusive and violent, that it is in the child's best interests to have an ongoing relationship with the parent, even against their will. And I think it's incredibly dangerous.
Through her lawyer, Ms Morton denied any wrongdoing or negligence on her part. Legal Aid told 7:30 it stopped using Debbie Morton as an independent children's lawyer since March last year. The inquest also heard that John Edwards had visited Hornsby Police Station in 2016 before his wife filed her complaints against him. He told police that Olga was likely to make false accusations against him as part of the custody battle over their children.
We seem to minimise risk and have this resistance to believing women. It's incredibly dangerous, and it's a system that's been broken and flawed for a very long time.
The inquest heard that when Olga did file her complaint, police didn't believe her. The officer who dealt with her wrote in the police database her suspicion that the allegations were an attempt to win a bitter custody battle.
So, who are these people? Who are the police? What specialised knowledge do they have other than their policing? Did anyone speak to the children?
In 2017, a year after Olga and her children had moved to an address she kept secret from her estranged husband, John Edwards turned up at Olga's regular yoga class run by instructor James Campbell.
Well, that was a 6 o'clock class in the morning. That morning also John came to class.
Olga Edwards went straight to Hornsby Police to report a stalking incident.
She was actually crying on the phone, muddling her words. I've never ever heard Olga like this. She was saying, "That's my ex, I can't come back to the school, he's stalking me or something, he's invading my space."
Hornsby Police rang John, who claimed he'd been going to James's yoga classes for years. He hadn't, but they believed him and dropped the case.
You'd fact check, wouldn't you? One phone call, 2 minutes, changes the whole paradigm.
A subsequent police inquiry into Olga's reports later revealed at the inquest that the police made some crucial errors by not classifying one of the incidents as an assault, neglecting to mention the existence of children, and not asking about firearms.
When you're then turning around and saying, "I need help, this guy's got a violent process towards my children, or perhaps even me," I would have thought with 4 pre-existing AVOs that's a no-brainer to keep it a bit more serious than not.
In a statement, New South Wales Police said it will review the inquest findings and consider all the recommendations that are directed to police. In February 2018, the family court granted Olga Edwards full custody of the children. In July, John Edwards followed his daughter Jennifer to her new home address, shooting her and her brother Jack dead. James Campbell remembers the devastating effect it had on Olga.
Hollow. The best word to describe her was just this hollow physical thing. Catastrophic shift in personality and spirit, you know, irreversible, heartbreaking.
Anti-domestic violence campaigner and former Australian of the Year Rosie Batty formed a special bond with Olga in the months after the tragic murder.
She really wanted to share. She treasured photos and videos of her children. She wanted me to be able to see who they were, how wonderful they were.
Consumed by grief, just before Christmas 2018, a heartbroken Olga took her own life.
John Edwards didn't murder Olga, but he may as well have put a gun to her head as well. And what he did was more cruel, because he knew he'd taken away the most important things in her life and left her to suffer, just like Luke's father did to me, the ultimate act of power and control.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 730's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.